welcome back. I first met our next guest when he was part of the amazing percussion section of Eikange Bjørsvik Band that conquered everything in its path. Since then, he's developed a reputation as one of the best up-and-coming composers in brass music today. Before we meet him, the Stavanger Band recently recorded a work of his, Felicitous. Commissioned by Yamaha for their Band Clinic Programme, let's have a listen. It is, of course, Fredrick Schjelderup, and we caught up with him through the magic of Zoom. Fredrick, welcome to New Dimensions in Brass. We just heard your fantastic commissioned work by Yamaha. It's called Felicitous. Tell us a little bit about the work.
Thank you, Martin. Felicitous was commissioned and written last year. About this time, we're now in April. So it was a commission from Yamaha and the conductor Erik Jansen, which the commission came around a very difficult period of time, because it was during the lockdown
Sure.
last year. So it was quite positive as a musician to receive a commission just after the world was in lockdown. So this, for me, it was a very positive thing to do. So I felt like the stuff I'm gonna write in this period is it like gonna be all Corona stuff? But I felt like, as the title say, Felicitous, which is a positive word. I felt I had to use the positive vibe.
Now, we just heard, we saw on screen as well just earlier, Russell Gray, who is conducting Stavanger Band now. He says that this work is the perfect either concert opener or concert finisher. Now, it's a rare thing to produce such a work that you can either have at the start of a concert or right at the end of it.
Yeah, I think it was important because it's a free download from the Yamaha website.
Yes.
So it's important that the music is available in terms of the technical skills, the register, but also the musicality of it. It's important that it might fit every band on every level. So I hope all bands out there, either brass bands or fanfare bands, will take a look at the piece and download it. It's free at the Yamaha webpage. So
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Now, we've known each other for a few years now, and we first met when you were part of the incredible percussion section at Ikanger Bjørsvik at a time when they were sweeping past all the competition, winning everything in the world, hands down. What's your memories of those days?
Oh, I played in the band for 10 years, from 2007 to 2017. So there's a lot of memories. But I think the biggest one is maybe taking the European title in Ostende in Belgium in 2017. That's the highest.
Yeah, we on the same show, we've been talking with Viggo Bjorga, the chairman and the band manager of Ikanger, and he was telling us about their relentless strive for musical detail and musical perfection, and that comes across in every performance I've listened to from Ikanger. Now, I know that you're not playing anymore these days because you're too busy conducting and you're too busy composing fantastic music. Tell us a little bit, first of all, about what you're doing conducting-wise.
At the moment, I'm conducting two brass bands for adults, and I'm conducting one school band.
Wow.
So it's quite a contrast, but I absolutely enjoy it, and it also opens up for me to bring my own music or try stuff out with the bands. So it's a great mix, both being a conductor and a composer, and the musicians also want to play my music as well.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but your Festivus piece was the first piece ever played on Brass Pass TV by the Whitburn Band in our very first engagement. So congratulations
Thank
for
you.
that. Now, how did you make the transition from playing into composition, and what was the first serious piece that you think you had composed for yourself?
That's a tricky one, because I've always been playing in my local school band called Ytrebygda Skolekorps, but during the years in the band there, I started playing in a rock band. So one of my first real compositions was actually pop rock songs for the band. So that was actually my first songs. But when I went to high school, I got in touch with some great teachers. Andreas Lienrød, former percussion player in the Ikanger Band, and Frode Rydland, former soprano player in the Ikanger Band. So I've always loved to create music and create stuff. So they helped me a bit with arranging music, and suddenly I was actually taking percussion classes, but some of my friends were just in a league above me in playing percussion. So I suddenly started to write music, and Frode Rydland and Andreas helped me on the way, writing and arranging stuff. So I think my first compositions were made at high school, and we had a small group of brass players as well. So I got to try out the pieces.
Fantastic. Now, for UK viewers who are listening to this show, they will remember Ikanger coming over to Brass in Concert, sweeping Brass in Concert away, but you were one of the joint composers along with Red Gillier and Frode Rydland for that Brass in Concert set, which I think was also played at Felicitous as well.
So that was I just left the band before the Brass in Concert, so it was amazing to be a part of the now composing and arranging team in the band, because it's been for so many years that the Ikanger band has brought on new works, new arrangements by Reid Gilje, Frode Rydland, Svein Henrik Giske, etc. So for me it was an honor as a member or former member of the band, but now be a part of the team who's writing for the band. And they played really well both in cities and in Brass in Concert. So it was just an honor, really.
Wonderful. Now, if you're going to have any mentors in writing for brass band, probably Frode Rydland and Red Gillier amongst two of the very best. But when I look through your parts and look through the scores of works that you've done, Fredrick, what amazes me is not only the rhythms, but also the harmonies and the underneath parts that you write for band as well. Where do you get the influences other than Frode and Reid in writing those works, and who do you class as your mentors?
A lot of my music is inspired by both my band background from the local school band and always been playing in a brass band, but also in the music I listen to and pick up rhythms, sounds, etc. So it's a big question. But one of my favorite composers is Derek Bourgeois. I think his music is he writes the beautiful melodies, but suddenly the music is in contrast very angry and hard. But the way he combines the two, emotions.
Yeah, I think he's a master, Fredrick, at describing music.
Yeah, and Philip will be as well. I'm really a master. The same way he combines the contemporary with traditional brass band sound in an excellent way.
Now, you're already signed up with a couple of publishing houses. Tell us who you signed up with and how many works you've now got in the published arena, Fredrick.
My music is mainly published in Norway with Norwegian band music, or in Norwegian it's called Norsk Noteservice. And I've got some music as well in Belgium at BVT Music, Bert Fantin Music publisher.
When are you going to write a major test piece work? Because I got a feeling this is just around the corner with you.
Wow, it's that's my highest achievement, to write or to be able to get a commission like that of a test piece for the championship section. That's the one I'm still looking forward to. So I hope one day. Well,
I think at the rate that you are going and the standard of the work that you put out, Fredrick, that is going to be one day very soon, I'm sure. Where do you see yourself as a composer in maybe 10 years' time? Do you think you'll still be combined or confined into the brass and wind band world, or do you want to spread out into the orchestral sphere as well?
Hard to say. I've always had a foot in the brass band or in the band movement, so that's a big part of me, and I don't think I would be without it. Or
the orchestral world's loss is the brass band's gain with yourself. I hope we're going to hear much more from you in the near future, Fredrick. I'm sure we will. thank you for all the work you've done so far, and we really, really look forward to hearing more works of yours in the coming years.
Thank you so much.